there, I'm glad you're here. Today you're in for a treat. Before I made this video, I tested out a recipe for a cloud pour because it was something I was interested in learning how to do, and I was super happy with how it turned out. I had tried 3 or 4 times before this and completely failed, so I thought, why not share this recipe that I felt like really worked with you guys so that you can skip the trial and error. However, I flew a little close to the sun on this one, but as you will see, I learned some really great lessons along the way, and I ended up in the end with something I loved. So watch and learn. The most important thing is the actual paints that will create the cloud effect. And what you need for that is satin enamels. This is a Deco Art satin enamel, pure white. And you mix that with, I think, half and half. The other half being a white paint. I use Artist Loft soft body paint. And just a little bit of Floetrol as my medium, and then distilled water. And I use that until it's the consistency is, it's hard to tell, I know, because this is all white, but the consistency, I call this pretty runny, pretty thin, but I think with the cloud effect, that's important. So that consistency. The paints, another thing that's really important is the type of paints. I've tried a bunch of different type of paints, and the only one that I found that works really well, or I did a practice one before this just to make sure, and it worked, was the Liquitex Basics. So today I'm using these 3 colors, a purple, blue, and a turquoise blue. And I'm mixing that 1 part paint and 1 part Floetrol with a little bit of water to get it to a pretty thin consistency. I'll give you an example. This is the purple. So again, it's hard to see, but it's forming a tiny mound that disappears pretty quickly. So I consider this pretty thin. And then before I apply the colors or do the pour, I'm going to flood the canvas with just a white, plain old white base. Okay. So I've got my canvas flooded with white. I should tell you that this canvas is an 18 by 24. It's kind of on the big side. My idea, I switched the orientation because I'm thinking that I will be doing not a tree ring pour, but rather a pour like this so that the cloud effects are on the side, and it would be in this orientation. So I have no idea if this is going to work, but we shall find out. So to pour the layers in, I start with 2 colors, not the white cloud mix, but 2 colors. So I'm going to start with a little bit of blue and a little bit of turquoise. I'm pouring these down the side to keep them from mixing and getting too muddy. I'm now going to put in just a little bit of the cloud mixture, not too much, and then I'm going to just start layering. I think this is enough. What I will do is my pour, and then I may fill in the sides with more white to help guide the paint off the sides so I don't lose too much of the color. Ooh, so here goes. So I'm going to do just a straight pour right now down the middle until I get the white, and here's the white. So now I'm going to be doing sort of a zigzag pattern. And I have no idea what this is going to be like. No idea. Now I'm going to start from the top again. Again, totally experimental. No idea what this is going to look like. I don't know. This looks kind of weird to me. It looks like a spine, but I have no idea. This may be a disaster. So I'm gonna add some white here to help it run off. Oops. It's all kind of come off anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. Oh boy, I don't know what this is gonna do. All right, so I'm going to tilt it side to side at first. I'll turn it this way so I think you can see better this way. That's kind of cool. So I'm going to bring it back to the middle. Unusual, but I love the colors. Let's bring it back to the middle. I'm going to tilt it this way because I can. I probably would use more paint next time. I feel like I'm starting to get wonky lines here. So I may redo this because I do not like wonky lines. I don't like it. So I think what I'm going to do, pretty colors, but I don't like this. So I am going to scrape this. Oh, this happens. Again, I'm doing this for the first time with this big of a canvas, and so this is what happens. So I will scrape this and I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. So I have scraped the canvas, and it was so much paint, as you saw, so I hate to waste it all. I dumped most of it back into this cup. I'm now going to just use this as my base, as I'm going to flood the canvas with this instead of pure white. It all gets covered up anyway or poured off, so all that paint isn't wasted. I'm going to just pour it on here. I'm going to go ahead and pour it in a ring motion because I think it might look cool, and if some of the edges are left from this, that might just add to the painting. If not, I'll pour it off or cover it up. So let's get started. So now I'm going to try this again, and I will start layering my paints. The cloud mixture is the same. Do one more layer of this. This feels like so much paint, but I don't want the same thing to happen again, so that's a lot of paint. Hopefully this will work a little better. All right, let's give it a shot. Now again, I'm gonna do a sort of regular ring pour for this one. And we'll see how this one goes. I think this is gonna be cool. All right. So you can see the center here is not quite center, but that's okay. All right. So I really like the clouds that you see forming over here. So I'm going to move the paint that way first, because then I can stretch that out a little bit more. So we'll start with this. If you let it rest a little bit, this angle spreads out, and so it falls a little bit at a wider angle, if that makes sense. Okay, we're gonna lose a little bit of this cloud, but that's okay. That's all right. We have a lot of paint to work with, I hope. Okay, let it rest, and then we're gonna come back to the middle. And I'm going pretty slowly. Yeah, that looks super cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna pour off this side. And I love that deep purple line here that's about to come off. I don't know if I want it to come off. I may just do that. Now, this is kind of the middle-ish, so do I care about that actually being in the middle? I don't know. Again, if I start overstretching it, these lines are going to start to get messed up, so Just go slowly. Really slowly. I don't want to mess this up too much. I feel like I want to stretch this a little bit more. I don't know, should I just not do anything to it? I wish I had more clouds over here, but I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. I actually think that's pretty cool. Maybe it's not perfect, but yeah, I feel like if I tilt it anymore, the lines are gonna start to get too wavy and wonky. I think I'm gonna leave it. There, you can see it maybe a little better that way. Okay, so I think I'm gonna leave it.